They evicted an old woman just to steal her art, so we made sure they got nothing. There was a house in our neighborhood that everyone knew about, not because of how it looked outside, but because of what was inside. From the street, it looked like a quiet little cottage with a custom-built facade, soft colors, nothing special. But the moment you stepped through the front door, it felt like you walked into a different world. Every single wall was covered in hand-painted murals, Disney scenes, fairy tales, forests, castles, characters frozen mid-story like the house itself was alive. The woman who lived there had been there since the mid-80s. She used to be an art teacher, then ran one of those paint and wine businesses before retiring into doing commissions and furniture art. She was the kind of person who never bothered anyone, always smiled, always waved, even when people weren't exactly kind back. I'll admit, I wasn't always great to her either. We had issues at first, my truck being loud, me driving too fast past her place, but we worked it out over time. Eventually, we actually became friends. She had an understanding with the original landlord. As long as the art stayed inside, it wouldn't be a problem. There was even talk that one day the house would be hers. Nothing was signed, just words, but she believed it. She built her life around that house. Then the landlord died. Everything changed after that. His kids took over, and one of the sons came to inspect the property with his daughter. That's when things went bad. They walked through the house, saw the murals, and instead of seeing someone's life's work, they saw value, something unique, something they wanted. They didn't want her there. They wanted the house exactly as it was, just without her. She didn't have a formal lease, which made it easy for them. They used that and the unauthorized modifications on the walls as their excuse. The same art they admired became the reason to force her out. I've never seen someone that devastated. Decades in one place, gone just like that. But she didn't fight it. She found a property out of state at the last minute, something with a full art studio. It wasn't what she wanted, but it was something. She originally planned to leave the house as it was, murals intact, maybe even remove the cottage facade before leaving. That's when my friend stepped in. He's a painter, the kind of guy who loves any excuse to use new tools. He offered to restore the house back to what we call Rebecca standards, for free, basic, neutral, lifeless, the kind of look flippers love, white walls, gray tones, no personality. In return, he just wanted to practice with his new paint sprayer. Another friend of his offered to redo the landscaping if he could keep the plants. She agreed. We moved everything out in a week. Furniture into storage, boxes packed, memories stripped from the place piece by piece. She stayed at my friend's guest house during the process, even painted a mural on his living room wall as a thank you. Then the real work started. We didn't rush it. Every single wall got sanded down. Hours of buffing until those murals, those stories, those years of work were reduced to dull patches of color. It looked wrong seeing it like that, like something alive being erased. Then came the primer, thick coats of it sprayed across every inch, the kind that kills anything underneath it. 4 passes per wall, and it was gone, completely gone. After that, we finished the job. Flat whites, cold grays, same boring tones you see in every flipped house that tries to look modern but feels empty. He didn't just do the walls either. Cabinets, trims, switch covers, even the wood paneling, all sprayed into that same lifeless shade. When I walked through it after, it didn't feel like a home anymore. It felt like a shell. The outside was the final step. The cottage facade that gave it charm was carefully removed, and the landscaping was stripped down. Bushes gone, replaced with gravel, sand, and a single decorative rock. That house lost everything that made it special. A few weeks later, I drove by and noticed something strange. The place was still empty. I asked a neighbor if anyone had moved in. He said a couple of U-Hauls showed up earlier in the week, but nothing ever got unloaded. They came for a dream and walked into a blank, lifeless box instead. Comment karma if you think they deserve that.